The newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Soldiers killed the highest NPA official in Mindanao in a gunfight in Impasugong, Bukidnon on Saturday. The Army's 4th Infantry Division and the Bukidnon Provincial Police separately confirmed the death of George Badlos, also known as Ka-Oris, in the incident. Badlos was the commander and spokesperson of the NPA's National Operations Command. He was also spokesperson of the National Democratic Front of the Philippines. This recent setback by the NPA comes after intense military operations against its strongholds in Bukidnon in the past several weeks. Isang-Bayan is now eyeing to unite voters if it falters on uniting candidates. In an interview with the Chiefs, Isang-Bayan convener and retired Supreme Court Associate Justice Antonio Carpio said unity talks between candidates have fizzled out as none of them wanted to stand down. He said they will focus on uniting the voters and strengthening their organization in time for the election.
I'm not involved in the discussions on unification because we're done with that. We are only strengthening now our organization. The unification efforts are with the candidate, with the VP Lenny Robredo. If we cannot unify the candidates, we will unify the voters.
Motorists may now apply for a 10-year driver's license as long as they don't have any traffic violations. But before anything else, they must take the comprehensive driver's education program. Mon Gualvez with the details.
Jeepney driver Rodrigo is taking a driver's exam online even at 64. In fact, this is his second try.
Kailangan ko makapasa para makapag-drive ako na medyo matagal-tagal.
Motorist Rosel, meanwhile, found it easy-peasy, passing with a score of 84%.
Pag nahanay ko, alam mo yung ginagawa mo, no?
Since October 28, the Land Transportation Office has required all motorists to take its Comprehensive Driver's Education Program, or CDE. It's now a prerequisite for renewing one's driver's license under the amended Land Transportation and Traffic Code. The CDE includes a 5-hour refresher on traffic rules, road courtesy reminders, and an online test.
Gusto nating mabawasan yung mga nangyayari sa lansangan na hindi ka nais-nais, mga aksidente na kung saan nagdudulot ng injuries and even may mga namamatay.
The CDE is accessible via the LTO's Land Transportation Management System portal or in LTO-accredited driving schools for a fee. Motorists who would fail the exams will be required to retake the test. Once done, they may renew their licenses already. But only those without any traffic violation are eligible for a 10-year renewal. Those with existing records may only apply for one that's valid for 5 years. Some applicants welcome the new policy.
10 years na eh. Medyo more na masyado sa less hassle na siya, less gastos na rin.
Mabilis naman yung process po nila ngayon and yung sa portal sa new system po nila is mas maganda po.
A road safety advocate group even wants to go as far as integrating traffic education in the country's curriculum.
Naniniwala po tayo na para po magkaroon tayo ng matibay na pundasyon pagdating dun sa pagsunod sa mga batas traffic, ito po ay through education, not through law enforcement.
So far, the rollout is exclusive to LTO's central office and licensing center in Quezon City. Other areas in Metro Manila will follow suit next week and the rest of the country thereafter. For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
Amid calls to further ease NCR's alert level, NTF Special Advisor Dr. Ted Herbosa explains that local chief executives and policymakers are very cautious in easing restrictions. In yesterday's Laging Handa briefing, Herbosa noted that when alert levels are lowered, the public becomes too excited and most of them get or go out of their homes. Herbosa added that the safety of the public is still the priority as they continue to push for the reopening of the economy.
Hindi ko mas nasisi ang ating mga local chief executives and policy makers to do this release of restrictions very slowly. Na tuloy naman ma-open ang economy, kita nyo naman mas ma-traffic na ngayon at madami na ring taong nakakalabas. But very important, maganda naman ang situation natin sa vaccination rate sa NCR. So I think wala sigurong bagong outbreak na mangyayari.
Now, despite the decline in COVID-19 cases, health experts are still expecting a surge in cases in NCR if minimum health protocols are not followed. Speaking to the big story, one hospital command center operations manager, Dr. Bernadette Velasco, said that with the government allowing 100% transportation capacity, there is a risk of increasing COVID-19 cases since not all people strictly observe minimum health protocols. She adds that they are now monitoring all needed medicines and equipment in case of a surge.
Right now that the transportation is open at 100%, of course, we're expecting a lot of exposure if ever there is a one passenger that has the virus. So we're expecting an increase in the number of cases if they will not follow the minimum health protocol.
New York City is bracing for a worker shortage as its COVID-19 vaccine mandates looms tens of thousands of municipal employees that remain unvaccinated. Let's watch this.
For the mayor to turn around and say we can run this department with 25 to 35% less members is ignoring the fact that we can't even keep firehouses open today. We have always fought the department to increase staffing, increase the number of firehouses. The department and this mayor is willingly going into the opposite direction. We would never advocate for a firehouse to be closed or for members not to work overtime. We need everyone we can to keep this city running and keep it safe. We're trying to avoid what is going to be an inevitable disaster by design on Monday morning. Right now their livelihood is on the line and their paycheck is on the line. If that doesn't motivate them, then me telling them to get vaccinated is not going to help them. They believe they have natural immunity. I believe in natural immunity. For any of my members that still have antibodies, the studies prove that it's viable. And why this artificial deadline is causing this stress to these members. Obviously, if this hadn't happened, no one would have driven over to the senator's office. There's a lot of people with a lot of stress. They don't know how they're going to feed their families, and they have to make this decision on an artificial timeline. It's unfair to New York City firefighters. It's unfair to police officers and everyone that have been keeping this city together for 20 months during a pandemic to say you have 9 days to choose between your health care or the decision you want to make about your health care and whether or not you're going to receive a paycheck. Absolutely, that will absolutely happen. We're here to negotiate that this be a smooth transition and that members are afforded their time to make their decision and get their affairs in order. And as I said, we left on negotiation session 2 days ago and we have not heard back from the city. This is what my members are dealing with. Either they've already been sick or they've had the vaccine and they feel there's no need to have a vaccine forced on them when they've already had COVID.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. Students and organizations from St. Louis University in Baguio gathered yesterday in a candlelight protest for academic break. This comes following a rise in incidents of student deaths. The SLU Student Council says that there are 3 confirmed suicide cases, while the rest have been rumors and reports so far. They're now calling on the school administration and LGU to impose an academic break in light of the incidents. The World Health Organization admits that the COVID-19 pandemic is far from over. WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus called for global coordination to bring the pandemic under control. The statement comes after the number of cases and deaths worldwide increased for the first time in 2 months. Now, despite the COVID-19 pandemic, several groups found ways to enjoy Halloween virtually. A group of advertisers created a TikTok video where they would dress up in their Halloween costumes. Another group, meanwhile, created spooky spaces to celebrate the day. For many of them, celebrating the spooky season is a great way to get rid of the pandemic blues. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 2 in the afternoon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.